one of the things that I have decided to do. I decided to start watching movies again and get into movies. Don't really have a favorite genre. Like, I have a favorite movie I like to watch. Like, one of my favorite movies is Pulp Fiction of all time. I think Quentin Tarantino is one of the best directors ever. Like, I'm a fan. I remember collecting physical media because it's like when you go onto the streaming services like fucking like Netflix, Disney Plus, you spend more time looking up what to watch and then actually pick something than watching it. And with physical media, you have no choice. It's like you go in, you have to pick it up. It's like back in the days then when we used to have these things called video stores, which we don't anymore, which is such a shame because it's like you don't need to go out anymore. Anyway, the reason why I decided to get into the horror genre, I thought because my mate's like a really big horror fan and I didn't really pay much attention to it, but what he showed me about it, I thought, wow, you know, it's different. And in space, being an inspiring filmmaker is that he could get away with a lot. This right here could be a good, perfect location for a horror film. So anyway, I've been going to JB Hi-Fi and going to the horror section, which I did give myself a bit of a collection of movies, of films, and I paid about $80 because and she was like, oh, do you have Blu-ray and play at home? I'm like, yeah. So guys, oh, if you get another Blu-ray that's the same price or a bit lower, you get one for free. And I thought, fuck it. So I got myself a bit of a haul, eh? And I suppose that's one thing that I miss about growing up when I did, which you kids know nothing about, is that you used to go down to the old video store and used to rent some movies. Always, I wanted to be a filmmaker, and every time that I watch a film, I tend to be inspired. Yeah, I tend to be inspired by my filmmaking abilities. So, yeah, so horror. It's not something that I'm familiar with. And I thought, well, why not? Because, I mean, fuck, like Sam Raimi's Evil Dead, there's a bunch of mates that got together and decided to go, oh, well, we'll just do whatever, we'll just make it up on the spot and get what we have, and that launched his career. Same with Peter Jackson's Bad Taste film. It's just a bunch of mates that went out to the countryside in New Zealand and just start making up shit. And now he created like digital effects and that. And I was just thinking about, like, I watched Frankenstein, a 1931 movie, and just when sound and films was coming about, and just reading up about the technology that they have. So basically, like, the whole vibe that I got from that film, it was like a fucking stage play, and I didn't hardly had any sound design. Like, there was no, when they walk, you hear the footsteps you didn't hear in that film. Is because, well, so basically the cameras were a lot noisy, and then I have to record sound on this microphone that was on a gramophone. So when they did the records and some like with the sound and stuff like that, and it's like limiting technology. And watching a full-length silent film was a bit of a struggle, if I'm being honest, because there was no dialogue. But it gave me like some ideas. So yeah, I thought I'll come out and go for a bit of a walks, and you fucking would, yeah. So anyway, why don't you check out my podcast where I just watch these horror movies and talk about them. It's called Scared Shitless.